have technically been arrested right there for disorderly conduct.
Okay.
Okay, but you weren't. The officers did not want to arrest you.
Yeah, because
Okay.
they knew it's unconstitutional.
Well, I'm not going to, again, I'm not
It
going to...
violates your oath, and your
I'm not
willingness
gonna
to
debate the
defend the
Constitution
thin
on
blue
the
line
steps here.
and these officers and the assault when there's evidence right before you just speaks to the tyranny that is in this country.
Okay.
The following took place at City Hall in Aberdeen, Washington on January 30th, 2019. After being assaulted by, quote, Police Chief Steve Shumate during the first public comment period, Mike called dispatch to have someone from the, quote, Sheriff's Department come out. He then returned to the City Council meeting to attempt to finish his comment during the second public comment period.
Hey again, Mike. I live here. Yeah, I think you got the gist of the first comment, but I guess we can expand that need to change out the personnel to the chief of police. The deputy's on his way out, retiring, so that's okay. But to believe that you can assault somebody because they're not listening to you is not the example we need to set for people in law enforcement, especially somebody at the top. So what you guys were not privy to after that happened outside, Steve then refused to process the charges of assault and said that his department would not do that, and Dave backed him up. So we are currently awaiting sheriff's response to process the assault that you guys witnessed. And yeah, so that's just, it's sad that's how the city is doing business. It's a prime example of what I was trying to talk about, that people are in these positions without accountability. And if the people aren't going to hold these public servants accountable, then who will? So I think there's a lot of change that needs to happen, a lot of people in these positions that need to go. And I guess we'll start after drafting recall petitions. But sadly, the chief of police is not an elected position, so we'll have to figure out what to do about that. Thank you.
Nearly an hour after calling dispatch, quote, Deputy Tracy Gay finally arrived on scene.
They just locked. They just kicked us out. As we were trying to have the conversation inside where it was warm and.
Yeah, maybe we could. I'll see if I can contact him. We can go inside where it's
on the other side, get ready to leave.
Yeah, he literally was just telling us to go, trying to kick us out, even though he witnessed the crime.
Yeah, he's leaving. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Do you want to sit down on the bench, or do you want to talk to me right here?
You talk. It's hurting to get up and down. So.
Okay. I'm just trying to think somewhere where we can go indoors. Hang on just a second. Let me see if I can catch him. Mm-hmm. Maybe we can go indoors.
It's Erik. Is the name.
Erik Larson. Probably looking at it.
Cold.
Yeah. You have a coat on?
I have a jacket kind of thing. I'm fine. Stay there.
Where's your coat?
It's in the car.
Go get it, you dork. I'll take this.
I think it's in the car. It's facing your face.
Okay.
Are you waiting for me? No, I'm just spectating.
Okay, I guess we'll just talk right here, and
All right.
That should be fine if it's okay with you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your name, sir?
Mike.
Mike.
Yeah.
And your name? April. Okay. All right. Well, what happened tonight?
Was trying to make a comment at the city council meeting comment section, and so their procedure is at the beginning of the meeting. There's a comment period for agenda items.
Yeah.
And they try to say limit it to agenda items only. I spoke on the roll call and how I thought the names on the roll call needed to be changed, and we need to remove some of those names. And Mr. Erik Larson, the quote-unquote mayor, didn't think that was appropriate, and that was an agenda item. So we had a disagreement about it being an agenda item. He kept interrupting me, telling me I can't talk about that, wait till the end of the meeting. Eventually he was like, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave or ask you to remove yourself from the room. And I think he said, we have to check, we have it on video, but I think he said, well, somebody help him or escort him out. And it was because right at that time, Steve Shumate, the quote-unquote chief of police next door, was...
What does that mean, quote-unquote?
Well, that's what he calls himself, so...
Well, he is the chief of police,
okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So he comes up and is telling me to leave. And I say, well, that's not the procedure. If the mayor believes this to be a disturbance to the meeting, according to the meeting procedures and policies, the mayor is supposed to clear the room, ask for the room to be cleared, and in which case I would have left. And I say this to Steve, and I think the microphone picked it up. But Steve didn't want to listen. He put his hands on me and started pulling me towards the door. I went to the ground, and then he wrestled my phone out of my hand and refused to give it back to me. And at that point, legal counsel spoke up, recommending the mayor that he clear the chambers because she knows the procedure, and he eventually did that. He said, okay, we're gonna, at this point, ask the chambers to be cleared. So I got up off the ground because Steve was no longer touching me and asked for my property back. He refused to give it back. He's like, well, once you leave, I'll give it back. Once you leave, so I'm like, okay, this is silly. I left the council chambers. Again, asked for my property back a few more times. He finally gave it back after Dave Timmons, the second in charge, I guess, the deputy, quote-unquote deputy chief. He had my other stuff. He gave me my bag and coat, and then Steve finally gave my phone back to me. And then at that point, I was like, hey, why did you put hands on me? This is clearly assault. This was not, wanted contact or even an invitation. How do we go about pressing charges for assault? Can you guys process here at the APD? He said, nope, you got to get a hold of the sheriff's office. So at that point, I went to try to get a hold of you guys.
So I'll just interject real quick. So I'm here because this is involving your complaint against the Aberdeen Police Department.
Right.
So obviously they don't investigate themselves, as do we. So
okay.
That's why I'm here to talk to you.
Okay.
To find out what happened and take your complaint.
All right.
You need medical attention?
Yeah, if somebody wants to check me out.
Want an aid car to come to check you?
My knee's messed up, my back, and...
Have you asked anybody for an ambulance yet?
No.
Okay, so this is the first time you've asked?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been...
Harbor, 1 King 1. How old are you?
35, 35.
You said your knee hurts?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Just give me a second.
If they're busy, we can go to the ER. Hmm? Yeah. Yeah, if they're busy, we could just drive up to the ER and get checked out. I don't want to waste...
Well, that's certainly up to you.
I don't want to waste, I don't think... I'm not an emergency...
Either way,
it's not an emergency medical situation. I do need to get looked at, though.
So when you fell, did you, other than the pain, was there any injury or anything as a result to the fall?
I don't know. I've got a pre-existing condition with my knee, injury to my knees, and my back and my neck, and my head, my eyes.
Okay. But right now, it's just your knee?
Right now, my back's feeling worse than my knee because I got the weight off of it, but...
Okay. Well, the ambulance is already on their way, so why don't we just let them talk to you, and they can help you determine whether you need to go to the hospital at that point.
Well, we have the video if you want to review that.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, she's got a different angle, I guess.
Whatever video footage you have.
Yeah, so this guy, he just walked free. Nobody stopped him.
What guy?
The guy who attacked me, Steve. So, you can probably find out where he lives pretty easy and go get him. What's that?
If a reverse would be changed right now. If any one of us had done what Steve did, we would be in a cage.
Mm-hmm.
But
So is he talking right now?
no,
Huh?
not yet. It might take me a minute.
She's I think she's trying to pull up the footage from my phone.
And was this on the stick, or this the one you had in your hand when you fell?
It was broadcasting live to Facebook, so.
So what point are we at now?
He's walking up to the podium to start to speak.
Okay.
Started at the beginning.
Can you turn this up at all?
Can you walk to the corner?
Yeah, that's this.
So this is where
sour
you're
mix.
up giving your
Talking
statement
about,
about
yeah,
whatever
the council
topic.
names, yeah.
Now, was this public comment?
Yeah.
Was this the time? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I can't obviously hear everything that's being said, so. Now, were they willing to have you come back at a later time to talk, to address your points?
Yeah, he was saying there's a second public comment period and I could address it then.
But you didn't want to stop talking, or what?
Well, because
happened?
he was incorrect. It was pertinent to agenda items. So,
Right. So the mayor is running the meeting, right?
yeah.
So the mayor is in charge of the meeting, correct?
Well, he believes he is.
Well, if you don't have somebody in charge
Yeah.
of the meeting, it's be kind of chaos, right? You got to
Well,
have somebody. to
procedurally,
help.
if you're following procedures, then yes. But clearly they don't follow procedures. They just use force. You know,
So let
that's
me
the
just
point.
let me just ask you a simple question.
Yeah.
If you had things that you wanted to say, which you feel is important, why not take the opportunity to stop as they ask and come back at the later time in the meeting to address those? Like, it sounds like they're giving you the opportunity to do that. Does
Well,
that not sound reasonable?
No, because that's a comment period for that. It's an agenda item. So if he
Right.
if he has personal beef with me and he tries to interrupt me like I don't know 5, 6, 7 times here, like if he just would have been quiet, the comment would have been over. I would have gone and taken my seat. And so he wanted to keep escalating it.
There he is. I hear him. So now I heard him say at the end of the meeting you could give your comment. I heard him just say that he will ask you to leave. And you want to do a roll call of some kind?
Recall.
Recall.
That means like you remove
Now
somebody
the
from
mayor
office.
sounds like he's asking you to leave.
I'm only going to say this because they keep saying they're telling you to talk and answer questions. It reminds me of like, you told rape victim, you should have worn better clothing.
So here
You
comes the
just put on more
chief.
clothing, you wouldn't have rape.
Chief Shumate's walking up.
Okay.
And what is he saying? Is he asking you to step outside?
Yeah, there's 25 people, right?
Now, is this about the time you say that you were assaulted? Could you look at the video, sir?
I can't see it.
Oh, you can't see
No.
it.
There we go. Please don't touch me is when he first touched me. And he even says it, I'm touching you.
Okay.
So did you find
You
yours?
can have the phone back here if you
Okay.
want.
So hers probably shows the other angle
All right. I'd like
from
to
the
see
back
that.
of the room.
Found it.
While you're watching that, recap on these things. They're adamant that you stop talking. Tell them to stop talking because they say it's very clear what's happening here. That he's trying to find a way to
Oh, yeah.
not have to go after,
Now, what's your relationship? Are you a friend? Okay. And your relationship, ma'am, to him?
She's just here to record.
Okay. Just so I can figure everything out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that might have been different.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
Was this later? Okay, I'll let you work on that.
Sorry about that.
Did you find it?
So is there a way that you guys can forward these videos to me
Yeah.
so that I can
Here you go.
upload them for the prosecutor?
because I can't find it.
So
It's posted to the Facebook
this is your
account,
card if I go.
Facebook
what?
or the YouTube. You'll find the video on both.
Well, I'd like you to send them to me.
Okay.
if you
Well, you
can.
can. Yeah, you guys can find it from there.
Are you not willing to send the video to me? I mean, that would be helpful if you would. That's normally the protocol. Is if
Okay.
you have evidence, then you forward that to me.
Yeah.
Is that a possibility, or are you wanting me to go onto this website?
Well, so for us to send it, we have to do the same thing that you would have to do, which would mean to download it. So I mean, us downloading it and then sending it, where you can just, it's less steps if you guys just get it, because I don't have a hard copy of it. Does that make sense? It's it's to the
Okay.
cloud, to a server.
So we could just go online and view these videos,
Yeah.
is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're open source.
Okay. I'll let you talk to the gentleman here while she finds the video.
Okay. Hey.
What's your name?
My name's Thayer.
My
I'm a
name's
paramedic with Aberdeen
All right.
Fire Department.
Yeah.
What's going on today?
I was attacked by Steve Shumate during the council meeting.
Can we check you out somewhere? What's hurting on you?
My right knee, lower back, and wrist. I think there's something. I don't think it may have opened up. That's not bleeding. It's a scratch on the outside here somewhere.
Okay. Can we check
That's
your
not.
vitals?
That's not bad.
Can we check
yeah.
your blood pressure? I'm gonna come over on your right side, okay?
Okay.
Where he's
Yeah.
You want to have a seat on the concrete?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, let's
if we
can we
can,
walk
can
over
we-
and sit on this
Oh,
seat?
it hurts for me to go from sitting to standing and back and forth with my back. So if we can try to do it like this.
Pull the sleeve up a little bit farther
Yeah.
here.
Sure.
Kind of cold here on your arm. And again, you said your right knee, your left wrist, and anything else?
Lower back.
Lower back, okay.
Go ahead and relax that arm down the side of your body.
You're not looking at him, though.
Can we get your first name?
Mike.
Is that short for Michael or just Mike?
Yeah. Either way.
Okay. And what's your last name?
That's all right. Hey,
I
you didn't know what was
don't want to
going
get. I don't want to get right now with the.
Okay. What's your date
Yeah,
of
here.
birth?
Well, they're talking to
I just have to write a report.
You can just
for-
say I'm 35. She's 35 years
What
old.
happened?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you weren't there? Okay. You want me to say
So I'm gonna roll your pants up and take a look at your right knee.
All right. Yeah.
okay?
Go for it, man.
So- Can you wiggle your toes? Or just
Yeah.
bend your ankle? Perfect. I'm just gonna look at the other side just to kind of compare them, okay?
Yep.
Everything looks intact there, so that's good. Nothing out of place or broken that I can see.
I've had knee surgery on my left. Both knees have prior conditions, and I've had back and neck and brain injuries. So
Can we take your backpack off so I can
Yeah.
slide your shirt up and take
Yeah.
a look at your back also?
what's that?
I'm complaining that it's cold. And they're telling me it's colder. I was like,
Where's the hurting your word? Right there.
Yeah.
Again, same thing. I don't feel anything out of place, so that's all a good sign for you, okay?
Yeah.
Your vitals are a little up, but that's not anything that I'd be surprised with at this time. Are you wanting to go to the hospital today?
Yeah, but I think we can manage the.
Okay, yeah, as it is
Transport.
right now, I don't see
There's
anything.
no emergency transport.
Yeah, I don't see anything that warrants an ambulance. So
Yeah,
if
that's
you're-
what I said when he was calling for one.
Okay,
So
if you're
I'm-
able to find a way out
Sorry,
there, that'd
guys.
be great.
Yeah, no, I know it's not emergency medical. I want somebody to do a more thorough exam. No offense to you. You
Yeah,
checked
no
for the vital stuff. So
All right, well, if that's everything, I think
Yeah,
we
no,
can get
you-
out of your hair, okay?
all right. So
All right.
did it open up on this side at all, or did you see any kind of?
Let me see. There's a very, very minor abrasion, it looks
All
like.
right. All right.
I think we're gonna get out of your hair then, okay?
All right. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Have a better night.
April thinks that the mayor's parked nearby.
You can go. Who's that over there?
I don't know.
You don't know? You can't see either of them.
That is a sheriff.
Then go.
canine.
Then go over there and record him. Don't record me. What?
I think we got the mayor in a alley over there watching.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just took a picture of it.
All right.
broken up. And we're in a public space.
I'd actually be ashamed to be a man and do what you did in that meeting. That was deplorable. It was, I can't believe that you would do that.
What's that?
And you can record that.
To do what exactly?
You know what you did. I don't have to tell you.
Oh, no, I don't know what you're saying is deplorable. What do you think is deplorable?
I'm going to talk to this gentleman. You know what you did. You got to live with yourself. But I would be ashamed.
I called out corruption, and then was attacked by somebody who swore an oath to defend freedom.
I'll talk to them first, and then follow up.
My grandson is 4 years old. He could have made more contact with me than that chief of police made with you. You fell on purpose. Did you hear the laughs going on when that happened?
It's sad, huh?
It was bad.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because you were assaulted. If you would have been assaulted, you would have everybody in that room on your side.
Yeah.
And I used to be on your side.
Yeah.
Because I came down and sat with you down at the corner of Reiner's there and visited with you for several hours. But when you do stuff like that, you're cutting your own throat.
Well, did you see Steve touch me and start pulling me towards the door?
Steve
Shumate?
Oh, the chief of police. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he went.
So
he touched you on the arm, and you went
and he grabbed me.
to the ground.
Well, no, he touched me for several seconds and started pulling me.
I was there.
Yeah.
And I'm going, what in the world is he doing? You are not helping your own cause in any way.
But you saw him grab me, right?
He didn't grab you.
Oh, he didn't?
No, he didn't.
So.
And if you have a video, I would love to see it.
Yeah, we have it.
So let's finish up our conversation, and then I'll talk to him when we're done, if that's okay. So let's go away from this water fountain.
Yeah.
It's pretty noisy. Do you have enough time to wait? I'd like to talk to you. Okay. I'd like to get everybody's statement that was there. It's quieter over here, so I don't have to. That water fountain.
Yeah. Were you able to view the other video?
Her video did not show the part where you say you were assaulted. She was panning another part of the room and then came over after you were already down on the floor.
Okay.
So, but I did get to see on your phone quite a bit.
Okay.
Okay. So.
And you heard him say that I'm touching you. Yes, I'm touching you.
So I am going to get your written statement, and then it's Amy. Is that correct?
What's that?
What's her name again? Amy.
You have to ask her. I don't.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll get her statement too, because obviously she was there. So I understand that this happened inside the room there, and there were a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
Just a second. I'm sorry. I got to take this. Hello.
We could use the emergency room and he can follow us.
Yeah.
I am.
Because it's fucking cold out here.
Yeah.
And the cold is not helping.
Yeah.
Who is this? Okay. Well, we're being recorded right now. I'm gonna have to talk to him later. Bye.
Can we finish up at the ER? Can we go and start that?
Do you want to go to the emergency room?
Yeah, because they just checked.
Is the ambulance gonna take you?
No, because I'm not in any emergency medical crisis right now. I do have other injuries that I would like checked out by a doctor.
So do you want to go to the emergency room after we discuss this, or are you wanting to go right this minute?
Well, can we do? I mean, if we go there, then we can talk inside, right?
Room, I'm not going to be able to talk to you until after you've been treated.
Okay.
So you have to decide if you want to make this report with me now. I'm assuming if it was an emergency, that you would have been transported by ambulance to the hospital.
Yeah.
You weren't.
Right.
So do you want to give me a statement and finish this interview here, or do you want to go to the hospital first? It's your choice.
Well, will you follow up with us there at the hospital?
Yes, but it would be later. Once the staff is able to treat you, then I can contact you and get your statement.
Okay. Do you still need a statement, or have you had sufficient evidence?
Well, if you want to file an official complaint, I do need to get your written statement.
No, what about charges for assault?
Okay, so what I would do is I would take your statement, your lady friend's statement, and I would follow up and get everybody's statement that witnessed what happened, and I would forward my case to the prosecutor's office for their review.
Is
But
that
looking at the video, it does not look like you were assaulted.
really, even though he says I'm touching you?
He has the right to touch you. He's the police. Okay?
When there's been no law broken, you can just touch people?
Well, technically, you were committing a disorderly conduct.
No, sir.
If you're interrupting a meeting, and you're asked several times to stop, and if you're asked several times to leave the meeting, then that means you're disrupting the meeting if you fail to...
Then there's procedure for that, which they followed after I pointed it out.
Right.
But that was
for you
after the assault.
For you to continue talking above the mayor who was in charge of the meeting, okay, you were in the wrong there, okay?
No,
If you would have simply followed up like the mayor told you
Yeah.
later, I think this whole thing could have been avoided.
Okay.
But as far as Chief Shumate putting his hand on you, he was simply doing an escort, okay? And police, that's part of our duties.
To assault people?
You were not assaulted according to what I saw in the video.
So they're saying you just need to talk to the
But
lawyer.
I am
Yeah.
not.
This
I
is
am not a
obviously he's
sir.
not interested in
Yeah.
I am not a court of law. Okay.
Yeah.
I will take your statement if you wish. I will forward my report
Yeah.
to the prosecutor's office.
Okay.
And then they can make a determination after they view the camera, all the evidence, all the witness statements. They can make a determination
Okay.
on what they want to do. with
Now,
the
what if
case.
the roles were reversed and I was telling you to leave and you didn't want to leave and I grabbed your arm and started to pull you off the stairs here? Would that be assault?
Okay, but you're not the police, and you don't have the duty to.
So there's a double standard, right?
I'm not gonna get into the.
So you're saying
Constitution
assault
and
is
everything on
legal
these
when
steps.
it's done with somebody with a
I
badge
just
and a
told you
gun?
you weren't assaulted, in my opinion. Okay.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean that it's not going to be forwarded to the prosecutor's office, like I said.
Yeah. Well, there's another part of the video. Do you have the end of the video where I'm talking with Steve and Dave Timmons and
Oh, when they talk to you and
admit that he assaulted me?
It's on
So
there.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that video.
Okay.
That's the video I gave you.
That's the very end of the video. He walked me out
And
and
I'll
we
be
talked.
honest with you.
Yeah.
You talked to me for about 5 minutes about being interrupted and not being able to talk.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until the very end you gave me a little bit about when you were fell down and assaulted. So it appears to me that you're more upset that you were interrupted and not allowed to continue with what you wanted to say versus being escorted out.
Oh no, it was the physical attack. Yeah, you asked what happened.
was no physical
I gave
attack.
I gave you the context.
There was no physical
So-
attack. He was simply trying to escort you out of the building.
Yeah. Well, when somebody touches another person without their permission or invitation, that's physical,
Well, it's not
right?
the definition
It's an assault.
of assault. It's
Yeah.
not.
Well, okay, we can pull up the definition, and it clearly meets the standard.
But again, I'm not
You wanna-
here to tell you.
So do you
that-
want to see the other part of the video when he
Yes.
when he admits to that and says if you
Sure.
want to file assault charges, you have to do it through the sheriff or somebody else? And say yes, I did touch you. Yes, I was doing that.
It's loading.
So this is later
That
when?
same video. It's just, I just
Once we
dropped
left,
it over
once we cleared the room, and everybody else went back in the room, I stayed and talked with Dave and Steve.
there. Can you hear if it's the part we're listening for?
Yep, right there.
So is he talking to you here?
Yep.
I'm gonna see if April can give you a ride.
Okay.
Will you hold this?
Yeah.
So can you, or you can't see the screen? I don't know you. You can't see?
Right.
Okay. So how far into the video can you tell by hearing it?
It's just right here.
So did you say he assaults you again, or he
No,
just
he
talks
admits
about it?
to it.
Well, you said it right there yourself, sir. You said escort him out.
Okay.
Those are your
He's still
words.
talking. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll get all these copies then. I have your card. We can go
so
on
you
the
heard him say
website.
that? Yes, he admitted to touching me.
He admitted to touching you,
Yep,
yes.
and grabbing me.
Which
and
does not
pulling-
necessarily infer an assault, okay?
Okay.
The police have the authority and the right to put their hands on people in a non-assaultive manner, okay? Now,
If the
we can
person is,
argue-
if
we
they're
can
breaking the
argue
law,
that.
there is no law being broken. I asked them, and they just
I just
you
told
heard
you,
it,
but you
right?
didn't want to listen to what I told
Well,
you.
I asked them. They were there. They
Okay,
witnessed
but I'm
it.
telling
and-
you,
Yeah.
okay? If you're in a meeting, in a public conveyance, and you're
Mm-hmm.
continually disrupting that meeting, it is technically disorderly conduct. So you could have technically been arrested right there for disorderly conduct,
Okay.
okay? But you weren't. The officers did not want to arrest you.
Yeah, because
Okay.
they knew it's unconstitutional.
Well, I'm not going to, again, I'm not
It
going to...
violates your oath, and your
I'm not
willingness
gonna
to
debate the
defend the
Constitution
thin
on
blue
the
line
steps here.
and these officers and the assault when there's evidence right before you just speaks to the tyranny that is in this country.
Okay.
It doesn't
So
speak to your credit,
I'm going
sir.
to take your statement,
Yeah.
okay, and I'm going to take your friend's statement, and then I will submit it to the prosecutor's office, and they will make a determination to file charges, okay?
Okay.
So are you wanting to give me a written statement?
No, I think it's silly at this point. I can submit it later.
Okay.
You're refusing
Would you like-
you're refusing the clear evidence, the video and audio evidence of the perpetrator admitting he committed the crime, and you're not doing anything about it.
Okay, sir.
Again, if the roles
I
were
just told
reversed,
you. Listen,
if the roles were reversed,
I'm going to tell you again.
I would be in
I
handcuffs.
feel like I'm repeating myself when we're
Yeah.
talking over each other. I just told you, I'm going to conduct the investigation. I'm going to take your written statement along with everybody else that was a witness. I'm going to submit my report to the prosecutor's office.
Yeah.
They will take a look at it. If in fact you were the victim of an assault, charges will be filed accordingly at that time. Okay?
Okay.
At this time, I do not feel that there is probable cause to arrest anybody. Okay?
Right.
Do you have any questions?
Yeah. Why is there no probable cause?
I'm not going to explain it any more than what I just did.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
So do you want to give me a written statement? It's one last time I'm going to ask you.
No. It's
You
clear.
want-
It's clear you're not interested
You
in,
want us-
in actually finding the facts.
You're putting
and-
words in my mouth. Do you want a statement for me to take home with you?
No, we'll figure out how to do it.
You want my card with the case number?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll take that.
He's cop-splaining.
Hmm?
He's cop-splaining.
Yeah.
They have the dog with them. It's the canine unit.
Well, at least he's not out trying to sniff people's cars.
That's true. He's not happy about being trapped in the truck, though. The dog's not happy about being trapped in the truck, though.
Yeah. Let's just go get this guy's card and go.
I'm gonna go grab. You hold this. I'll pull her with me. She's giving me her address right now.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
That other guy go? Okay. So you said you saw him touch me?
I did see him touch you.
Okay. You realize that any like unwanted touching, anybody comes up and touches you without permission is assault, right? It's a legal definition, especially if they
It's not illegal. You were asked to leave. You didn't comply. You were asked on multiple occasions.
Yeah.
If he would have thrown you on the ground and cuffed you and drug you out, I would have thought that he was within his rights.
Really?
Absolutely.
So you support assault? You support attacking? Okay, and at the cost of hurting people and using violence against peaceful people?
Absolutely.
The GoPro turned off, but after this conversation, we left City Hall and headed over to the ER. Mike was diagnosed with a lower back sprain and a knee sprain.